That's not true. And this shows, again, the American people do not trust Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is incompetent in his position. And how do we know? Because they fired tens of thousands of people, was challenged in court. The court said the people have to go back, and now the people are coming back. He's incompetent. He's a thief. He's a Nazi, and people don't trust him. Period.
Let me just...
I really don't recognize my party. I don't recognize its principles. I surely don't see any leadership. I don't want to give full credit to President Trump for breaking the Democratic Party, but it surely is in disarray and, most importantly, completely rudderless. And what I saw my governor and friend, Tim Walz, say today was appalling. And I don't want to demean any individual directly, but I'm just shocked that someone who should know better read the room so poorly. I liked him for a long time.
Yeah.
But this is nonsense. And by the way, and just as you said earlier, what you said about cheering the tanking of Tesla stock, you know, not only does that hurt a lot of Minnesotans who have their money in pension funds, it hurts Tesla employees. This is one of the world's foremost innovative companies based in the United States of America. No elected official should ever demean an American company like that. It's nonsensical. And then to call him a South African Nepo baby. He's an American citizen for 20 years. He's built some of the most extraordinary companies in the world. And call him what you will. You can disagree with his initiative, Doja. But my goodness, you know, for my party to be, should be condemning it, should not be celebrating it. I'm really appalled right now and shocked.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the extremism of the Democrat Party due to the fact that the Democrat Party at this point in time seems to be extremely Trump deranged, okay? And also Elon Musk deranged as well, too, okay? And that has led to the Democrat Party transforming into the Taliban, okay? That is what they have become due to the fact that they're now using terrorist tactics to try to bankrupt Tesla and Elon Musk, okay? To try to put thousands of American workers out of jobs, to stifle innovation, to limit Elon Musk and his ability to fight against climate change, which they claim is an existential threat to this world, right? But apparently Elon Musk is worse than climate change. That, or they just don't believe their own rhetoric, right, when it comes to that subject. But regardless, my point is that the extremism of the Democrat Party that I've been talking about for years, okay? I don't think that anybody has talked about this more than me. The dangers of how radical the Democrat Party has become, okay? Because as much as the liberal media wants to boohoo, whine, and cry and fearmonger about Trump supporters and the alleged white supremacists who are the biggest terror threat to this country, right? We know that is all BS, okay? Because just personally speaking, okay? I don't know about you guys, but I have not seen many white supremacists or Trump supporters routinely causing chaos and destruction, destroying property, committing acts of terrorism because the government does something that they don't like, right? Like, I don't really see that, okay? But when it comes to these leftists, I see it all the time. I mean, I've been seeing it for 4 to 5 years straight, okay? Even longer than that. But it really has picked up over the past few years because these people have become emboldened, okay? I'm about to start calling the Democrats the jihadi-crats, right? Jihadi-cratic party. That's what they're doing against Tesla, right? They have waged a crusade against Tesla.
Cut off and berated, and it was all captured on camera. And the woman that was driving said the man that did all this was angry because she was driving a Tesla. As Fox 13's Alejandra Guzman explains, that woman was just trying to get to a doctor's appointment. She has the latest from South Lake Union outside of the Tesla showroom.
This encounter has left this mother pretty shaken up. She's just grateful that things didn't escalate physically. At the same time, though, she's afraid to drive her car anywhere as we're seeing a growing number of incidents targeting Tesla owners, not just here locally, but nationwide.
I was thankfully by myself. Lee was on the way to a doctor's appointment in Linwood Wednesday morning when she says all of a sudden a driver behind her just laid on the horn as they came up to a red light. Things spiraled out of control when a white SUV followed her and cut her off, stopping in the middle of the road.
Gets out and walks straight up to my window. So I cracked my window and I said, what is the problem? And he goes, you need to sell your car. This is a Nazi car. You're driving it. You need to sell your car.
Lee says she's been driving a Tesla for the last 2 years. She says a man wearing a camouflage jacket and a ski mask attacked her for it.
It's really sad, that this is what's happening to people who honestly, it doesn't affect how I believe or what I believe. Just the car I drive. Being in Seattle, it was climate's important, our footprint's important. This seemed like the right move for our very busy family.
In Oregon, shots were fired at a dealership, and in Massachusetts, charging stations were torched. These incidents have only intensified since CEO Elon Musk has taken a prominent role in the Trump administration while slashing government jobs and spending.
Felt so intentional, felt exactly what he was there to do.
There was even a website, now taken down, sharing the personal information of Tesla owners to pressure them to sell their vehicles.
If it was to align with what we thought, that it's easy to just, turn over a $60,000 car and find something new that works. That's not a decision that everybody can make overnight. And I think that puts a lot of us in a hard position.
Now, since being confronted, Lee says that she started taking the highways in order to feel more visible and avoid those back road stop signs. At the same time, though, she also tells me that she's made several reports regarding this incident. We're waiting to hear back if this individual is going to be facing any consequences. In Seattle, Alejandra Guzman, Fox 13 News.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Clearly, the jihadi-crats are very triggered when they see a Tesla, right? It's almost as if driving a Tesla is like the new MAGA hat, right? It's the way to identify a Trump supporter. And we all know how triggered the left gets when they see a MAGA hat. In fact, there's a story now going viral involving a woman on the subway station in New York who decided to lose her mind. Okay, she snapped on a young man for wearing a MAGA hat. And let's just say that this did not work out well for this woman. Take a look.
That's why he won. Because people like you. That's why he won. That is why he won, because of people like you who need to stop and let him live. Bro, just like, go, chill, bro. You're okay with that? He's a racist. I'm so okay. How can I be racist, bro? I'm so okay with it. If you fucking voted for Trump, you're a racist. He's a racist. How can I be racist? No, he's not. Leave him alone. Doesn't watch the news. You realize he wasn't Democrat. Highly educated. Oh, are you? Then why are you wearing that hat? Everything's going up for I don't know how long. The Democrats have been running New York since who knows how long. But then Trump comes in and just takes over. All right, well, this is my stop. I hope you enjoy the hat. Oh, she tried to attack her. She just... Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I got to tell you guys, a new meme has been born, okay? This is a legendary meme that I think is very symbolic of the current issues in our country, okay? A deranged liberal woman being upset with a man for supporting common sense, right? I'm just saying that this picture says 1,000 words about the current state of our country. But yes, again, these liberals are very deranged, and their tactics are becoming more and more and more extreme. They're not just attacking people for wearing Trump hats or for driving Teslas, firebombing Teslas. They're also shooting up Tesla dealerships and things of that nature as well too. But now they're swatting influencers. So influencers are now being swatted because liberals are basically trying to cause harm to conservatives now, right? People that they disagree with. So it's so bad that even CNN had to cover this story.
This morning, a growing number of conservative influencers are getting targeted by swatters. There have been at least a dozen incidents in recent days of bogus calls that draw police and first responders to the target's home, including the home of Erin Durham in North Carolina. She opened the door late at night to armed officers.
When I walked up to the door, he was pointing a gun at me, and obviously immediately stopped when he saw me. But it was a lot of confusion, a lot of fear. I felt like I was going to pass out most of the time that they were in the house.
This is so disturbing. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security are now investigating these incidents, and CNN Hadass Gold is joining me now. She is looking into them as well. What are you learning? Who is the target mainly, and how does this all go down?
So what we've seen is over the past 2 weeks, at least a dozen influencers have been targeted in these swattings, and not just swattings, they're also getting things like bogus pizza deliveries. Now, what we found commonality amongst all of these influencers is almost all of them have some sort of following on X. Almost all of them are pro-Trump. Many of them have interacted with actually Elon Musk, the owner of X. Some of them have millions of followers and are super well known, and some of them are some of these more smaller influencers. But again, almost all of them are pro-Trump. Many of them call themselves conservatives, and many of them have interacted with Elon Musk. Now, as you noted, swatting is very dangerous and it can be deadly. These callers will call in with bogus calls of people being shot, of a home invasion, of holding people hostage. It causes a huge response from police and emergency services, which draws them away from other actual emergencies. But if there's confusion, something could go wrong and something could go very wrong. So I actually spoke to two of these influencers. I spoke to Aaron, who you just heard from, and to Larry Taunton. She's in North Carolina, he's in Alabama. Both got these swatting calls right around the same time, early Sunday, right around 1 a.m. Both got bogus calls about that. They were pretending to be the homeowner, saying that they had been shot. There were other people had been shot, caused a big response. Here's what Larry said he experienced. Take a listen.
There were no sirens, no lights, no announcement, nothing. And he's trying the door handle. And I am crouched inside, armed, and I'm thinking if that man comes through my door, I'm going to light him up, because you're just thinking somebody's here to murder me and my wife.
And what's really notable is a lot of these influencers are armed. They carry guns. And so many of them are saying this could have turned really bad because I thought somebody was robbing my home. Aaron,
breaking in.
Yeah, Aaron called it a cheap form of domestic terrorism. Now, the FBI and the DHS say that they are investigating this. The Secretary of Homeland Security is saying that under President Trump's leadership, we will not sit idly by as conservative new media and their families are being targeted by false swatting. She also said this is an attack on our law enforcement and innocent families, and will be prosecuted as such. But what makes this hard to investigate is the technology that these people use with the swatting. They spoof their phone numbers. A lot of them even use artificial intelligence to spoof the voices. But there have been prosecutions on this, and this is a very dangerous game that people are playing.
It is. It's
that liberals are playing. Liberals, Democrats. Again, this is the biggest problem that I have with these news outlets, right? When they can point the finger at Trump supporters, they are very, very, very clear about who they're blaming, right? They say, oh, well, it's Trump supporters. It's Trump's fault. Trump is doing this. But when Democrats and liberals do things, right, they want to use this ambiguous language. Well, we don't know who's really doing this. Well, who do you think is doing it? Okay, liberals are doing it. Okay, Democrats are doing it. It is clear who's doing it. Conservative influencers are the target, okay? Trump supporters are the target. This is domestic terrorism. Okay, that's where the Democrat Party is at right at this point. They are engaged in domestic terrorism. That's what's happening in this country. And this is what happens when you radicalize people. When you lie to people, you tell them that Republicans are going to take away your Social Security, your Medicare, your Medicaid. When you lie, like the Democrats, you fearmonger, you gaslight, you spread hatred like they do on MSNBC. This is what happens. This is outrageous. This is outrageous that this is happening in our country right now. And the media is not talking 24/7 about, is there a violence problem? Is there a terrorism problem in this country coming from the Democrat Party? When are we going to hold the Democrat Party accountable for spreading this type of hateful ideology that has resulted in people damn near about to lose their lives because these lunatics? So I'm just saying that at some point, we have to get serious. And this is why I said my number one thing that I'm looking for from Pam Bondi and Kash Patel is to stop liberal domestic terrorism. It's been going on in this country way too long, and they're only getting more emboldened. They're only getting more extreme. They're getting more extreme. You thought the BLM riots were extreme? Look at what these people are working up to. Look what they're doing now. So this has to stop. It has to stop. Again, I enjoy laughing at the lunacy of the Democrat Party, but the honest to God truth is that their lunacy is destroying this country. It is breaking this country apart. And again, it's causing stuff like this to happen because they radicalized their base into terrorism. That's what they've done. That's what they've done. And that's why, again, it is reckless for Democrats to come out here and to say that Trump is Hitler. He's a Nazi. He's a fascist. Because this is the result of when Democrats come out here and they exaggerate. When they use such reckless language, it radicalizes some lunatic into committing some act of violence because they believe that Trump supporters are Nazis and that Trump is Hitler. Okay, and that Elon Musk gave a Nazi salute. So again, all of this is on the Democrats, and I'm sick and tired of the media not covering this story the way they should be covering, which they should be questioning the Democrats, making the Democrats condemn the acts of violence against Tesla, right? You know how they asked Trump a thousand times, do you condemn white supremacy, right? Whatever the hell that means, right? They asked him that 1,000 times, and he condemned it 1,000 times. Have any of these people in the media asked the Democrats to condemn what's happening, the domestic terrorism that's happening in this country to Teslas, to Tesla owners, also, you know, their constituents, liberals, okay, Democrats, the swatting that's happening to conservative influencers? Has anybody in media asked one Democrat, asked AOC, Bernie, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, right? Has anybody asked them, hey, do you condemn this? Do you think that this is a good idea? Do you support left-wing extremists doing stuff like this? Why haven't they asked the Democrats that question? Because we know if the shoe was on the other foot, if these were conservatives or Trump supporters doing this, we know they would be asking Republicans 24/7. They would be in their faces. Do you condemn this? Do you think this is wrong? Do you support this? Right? That's what they would be doing. But again, when Democrats do it, they don't ask any questions. They don't make Democrats explain to us, why are your supporters doing this? Right? And do you support this? Do you support terrorism because you can't get your way politically? Right? So, you know, again, it's a damn shame what's happening to this country right now.
Really dangerous, and it puts a lot of people in a bad spot. The police and the people who are being swatted. It's disgusting. Someone is going to get hurt. Someone has gotten hurt. I remember this happening over video games.
Yes,
where
exactly.
Someone got really hurt in all of this.
People have been killed.
And people have been killed.
Yeah, exactly.
This is it's extremely dangerous game. It'll be interesting to see from the FBI if they're ever able to find who
and if there's
is
any
behind
connections to the attacks we're seeing recently on Tesla dealerships, on the cyber attack that Elon Musk said happened on X, because there is this connection with Elon Musk here.
Yeah. All right.
Of course there's a connection. Again, I hate this. Oh, let's play dumb. Let's not be direct about who's doing it. Just tell the truth. Of course there's a connection. It's all connected. These are all far left lunatics who've been radicalized by the Democrat Party into terrorism. That's what's happening. Call it like it is. Call it like it is. These are acts of terrorism. And you should cover it that way. It should be covered with that sense of urgency. Democrats should be asking questions about why is it that terrorist attacks are being committed on your behalf in this country? Why? And what do you have to say about it? So regardless, I'm hoping that the American people can see how radical the Democrat Party is and why we should not ever let these people back in power. As long as they're in bed with, again, far left extremists, okay, literal domestic terrorists, as long as they're in bed with those type of people, no, the Democrats shouldn't be anywhere near the office of the presidency, okay? They shouldn't be in power at all, okay? The party is too extreme, okay? And they're in bed with people who are even more extreme, and it's a huge problem for this country. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.